serve contempt paperwork. Really? It's news to you that you have to go back to court. Okay, first off, take a drink, contempt. You're talking about court. Second off, yes, I was there when you were served contempt paperwork. Just because you don't have a date set yet does not mean you don't have to go back. You dumb bitch.
That's wonderful that you were there when I was served with these papers. However, you haven't been there since. You're not a party to this lawsuit, Cheshire. What makes you think in what world you would be read into the ongoings with it, let alone the accurate or correct ongoings with it? Because let me tell you something. There is no date on the record, and for all you know, that could be by design. That could be because it was already addressed. It could be because it was dropped. It could be for a million reasons, none of which you are privy to. What makes you think you would be?
And if the judges or the courts are taking their sweet time, doesn't mean it's done. Oh,
it could be 3 years from now. That's irrelevant. You're going back. Oh my fucking god.
Oh, listen to yourself. You are going back. Are you scolding me? Are you going to just put your foot down and make sure that I have to go back? And I mean, in 3 years, wouldn't it be kind of strange that if I had to go back like years after the order expired? I mean, come on, Chesh. And I'm the dumb bitch. Maybe pull your head out of your ass first.
When is this? What's the date?
See, that's what I told you. I fucking told you.
It's literally a date. She's literally trying to pretend she doesn't have to present her argument in court because a date hasn't been set yet, and she's trying to say that she's not going to have to go back because a date is not set yet.
Did you put that idea across Steve, by the way? Because if I'm not wrong, Steve's contempt shit is also not like set up yet. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
No, I'm pretty sure Steve's contempt already happened.
Oh, so why wouldn't hers happen?
Jeez, Manya. Does it ever get old how much and how often Cheshire has to reprimand or correct you? I mean, I'm starting to feel for you here. Just tell her. Just say, Cheshire,
I'm a peacock! You gotta let me fly!
Maybe Steve didn't tell Aaron that he had his contempt hearing. And the reason I know that is because I was supposed to be a witness for that. So I had to know what the fuck the court case was about. That's why I know I had to be informed to be a witness in the first place. And then on top of that, I didn't get to go because my flight got fucking canceled.
And she's saying that you're lying about that also on Twitter.
Oh yeah, she said that I'm lying about why my flight was canceled.
And Veda going there and...
Well, you are lying, Cheshire. Just stop insulting your viewers, okay? Stop insulting everyone's intelligence. I mean, think about this for a second. This is a man who you were like super best friends with, okay? You guys did everything online together for years, okay? You guys ran a channel together even. And then this man who, according to you, did you like super wrong over that channel. Well, here was your big chance, man. Here's your big chance to really just like get even with him, like twist the knife here a little bit. All you had to do was just show up. And why wouldn't you want to show up and stick it to him right back, you know? Here's your big chance. And you expect everyone to believe that you were just sitting home like, ah, shucks, gosh darn it, my flight got canceled.
Aaron, you were served contempt paperwork. It means you're going to have to show up to court again eventually. Whether or not Dirty Uncle Sal can provide a date for your private court case, Sal shouldn't have a date regardless. You're asking Sal to prove something unprovable and unknowable by Sal.
Dude, I get what you're saying, and it totally makes sense. I'm of the same belief. However, Sal was speaking to me as though they had some sort of definitive inside knowledge that I myself didn't have as a party to this court case. So I thought, well, perhaps they can share this information since it involves me, and I can verify it. Let me read the tweets that you are obviously ignoring. Here, Dirty Uncle Sal says, Aaron, your stupidity and ignorance drops to deeper levels every single time you feel that your trash needs to be heard. If you were just a fraction less R-word, you wouldn't be the only one facing a contempt hearing, because you would have shut the fuck up. How's that going, by the way? To which I replied, I'm not facing a contempt hearing or anything else for that matter. And who do you think you are fooling? You know my trash is your treasure. That's why you're always taking it all in and talking on it. To which Dirty Uncle Sal doubled down with, liar, liar, why can't you be honest about anything? To which I said, okay, if I'm lying and facing such a hearing, when is it?
I have just one question, Aaron. Do you really want to risk that? You want to risk that contempt hearing not happening or happening for all this?
Well, gee, I don't know there, Manya. That almost sounds like a threat. Like you're telling me that if I continue with this, then I'm going to risk it all. Almost like you have inside knowledge of that or a determination to see that as so. It seems like a very odd thing for you, who's not a party to any of these proceedings, to say.
You were talking about like her coming on YouTube for self-soothing herself?
Well, she wants me to come to YouTube and have a debate with her after all this is over. If it's not over
So it's
and
not
you've already
over.
had your hearings for your normal TRO hearing, your restraining order hearing, then what else needs to happen? Is it your contempt hearing that needs to still happen?
It's amazing how insecure you are. Perhaps you should go back and remind yourself exactly how that conversation happened in the comment section and who invited whom, where. Because it was you who invited me on for some sort of debate, to which I then told you, I would love that. Why don't we do that after all this court stuff has concluded? The fact that I told you after all this court stuff has concluded should tell you right there what it is we're waiting on. I mean, what do you think the whole purpose is of this trial? What do you think it was all an effort to determine?
Has she even read her fucking paperwork? Or is it just like lying somewhere and it got thrown in the trash? Oh my god.
I was literally there when the judge handed her the contempt paperwork, or the bailiff handed her the contempt
judge
paperwork.
did.
Well, judge bailiff, one of the two.
Do you ever stop lying to your viewers? No, the judge didn't hand it to me. No one in the court, no one from the court handed it to me because the court didn't fucking file it. The court was receiving it right there along with me. The attorney for the other side is the one who filed it and therefore the one who handed it out. If you can't even get that basic little thing correct, that happened right in front of your face, I can only imagine how much other things you're getting completely incorrect or lying about.
The whole talking point completely wrong. It was lava. It was fucking lava, and it was being avoided like everything.
You ask somebody to answer a question they should not and ought not possibly know.
Yeah, because of course I was seriously asking Sal to provide me with the date for my upcoming hearing. Evidently, you comprehend sarcasm about as poorly as everything else.
The only way
Sal go around looking for answers.
The only way Sal would know is if you or one of your friends who you've shared this information with leaked it to Sal, or if Sal was told by Charla. If Sal had answered your question, then you would be accusing Charla of putting information out that she's not supposed to be putting information out.
Wait, that doesn't even make sense. I know that there's no upcoming court date. I know Sal does not have this information. That's why I put Sal on the spot and asked them to provide this information since they seem to be so sure that this information in fact exists. Obviously, I know that it doesn't. So if Sal did in fact give out a date, I would know it was bullshit. Why would I then accuse anyone of giving Sal information? Do you even hear yourself? I mean, because your scenario in which you imagine this would play out makes zero sense. I mean, it's almost like you're making this up as you go along now. And meanwhile, all of us are trapped here in Cheshire fantasy land where all the unicorns hobble around on 2.5 legs with limp and bented horns. They try to hide the stains made from tears and emo makeup.
You tried to catch Sal in a catch-22, but your catch-22 does not work because a date does not have to be set in stone for you to still have to show up in the future anyway, you fucking goddamn buffoon.
When I had my
How
immigration stuff
blue
happening.
is your ass, you baboon?
No matter how hard you try, I'm not going to sign your tits or show you my ass.
When my immigration stuff was happening, there were so many times that I wouldn't know what the date of the next hearing is, and I would have to wait and wait and wait till a date would be set.
Well, I'm willing to bet that the hearing date would never come if immigration found some sort of discrepancy in your claims and decided you not to be favorable for immigration status, right? So if the court took issue with your claims and chose not to support it, then there would be no future hearings, right? On second thought, no, this probably is a very good scenario.
You fucking moron. Have you read your contempt paper? Okay, you know what?
No.
Put the language in your contempt paper, written and printed in a fucking chat bot. Put it there, and it will tell you what it means in simpler language.
Well, it sounds to me like you have all the inside knowledge about this paperwork. Perhaps you have a copy of it. Why don't you read it and tell me where I went wrong? And
you want Dirty Uncle Sal to have proof of your contempt paperwork that you were served, that you admit you got. She already admitted she got contempt paperwork. She's not saying she's not in contempt or doesn't have contempt paperwork. She's saying when's the date, as if that's relevant. It's not. It's a non sequitur.
I don't think you understand what non sequitur means. So let me help. A non sequitur fallacy is a statement or conclusion that does not follow logically from what preceded it. So upon having this disagreement with Sal over this alleged upcoming hearing, when I asked Sal, when is this upcoming hearing, you're saying that that question did not logically follow Sal's preceding statements of my having an upcoming hearing. You're a fucking idiot.
Now, on my Twitter, I did this whole long thread about talking about emotional manipulation. And this is what they're doing.
You mean like you crying in front of the judge when the expert witness explained to you what harassment looks like and how it's about context? And then you cried trying to pretend that Charla had done anything to you, i.e. you did the Darvo, which is an emotionally manipulative tactic, and that the...
See, this is why you weren't effective. Because everything you've done has had the opposite effect of what you wanted it to have. You've actually done more harm in your efforts than any good you would have done. And you're also remembering that incorrectly. Yes, I did get upset. I got upset because the expert, the things he was listing off a series of tactics that someone will use when they're trying to harass someone or trying to control them through social engineering of sorts, if you will. And that was at that moment, that's when it dawned. This when it hit me right in my face, basically, that this is exactly what I have been forced to deal with. I have been living with this. I've been having to address these things, these tactics being done against me. Some people may love to classify themselves as a victim of sorts or whatever. I'm not one of those people, and I still don't consider myself one here. But I do feel like someone has made very wide efforts, huge efforts to try to harm me or wrong me. But it was at that moment when I realized that. It was at that moment. And you played a hand in that. You played a part in that. You flew from Canada all the way down to the southern part of the United States so you could participate in that. You did that. And here now the two of you are still months later up on YouTube doing your damnedest to continue that for me, for others too. But I'm talking about...
You mean like you crying in front of the judge context? And then you cried trying to pretend... Well, you were trying to fake cry.
Yeah, that's obviously a lie. You see, pieces of information like that always come out right in the beginning of telling a story. You don't then say something as being one way twice and then change it to something completely different unless you realize what it is you said the first time and you want that to be different. Because they're not providing facts or evidence. They're not presenting anything to state their case, to give support to
What's a fact?
It's a fact. I can
Facts and evidence are two different things.
Yes.
What's a fact and what is evidence, Erin?
Evidence?
And can you distinguish between the two?
No kidding. They're two separate things and they're distinguishable. It's almost like I knew that by asking to see examples of both of them. Seeing as though any and all of your common sense is just long gone, I'm guessing that facts and evidence kidnapped your critical thinking skills and fucking murdered it.
Okay, now it's time for member shoutouts. I'd like to thank
Tax Max Fax Thunderclap, Susie J, channel has been deleted, Taboo Topics, Emmylou Leah, Jill B, Heathen Mama 5, Elizabeth Broadnaut, DC, Fayette, Sally Godfrey, Maps Cat, Cheryl, Mr. Black Wolf, Rhonda Smith, Estella Havisham, Queen Donnie, Tequila Alive in Mexico, Rena Rue, Nana Hawk, Sean Coffey, Cheryl Tobiason, Sakaya Bear, Sassy Elmo, Flying Mom Laura, Berber, Verillion, Purple Dragon Shill, I'm fucking Reagan, Osbell, Sunny D, Jen Gerard, and Poodlerific.
Thank you very much for joining, and thank you everyone for watching.